El sueño mundialista se vive en el 13. Clasificatorias hockey Césped. Las selecciones femenina y masculina de Chile lo darán todo para llegar a la cita planetaria. Clasificatorias hockey Césped Mundial 2026. Desde el 2 al 8 de marzo por T13 en vivo y 13 Go.
Well, the pre-match pleasantries are complete. The anthems are done. Zhang, who was a dejected figure in that group stage as his team faced a number of defeats, will be hoping for better off this time round. Of course, we have our semi-finals later, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Tommy Alexander, who was crestfallen at the end of their game against Wales, he will start at the back. Andrew McConnell has had a solid tournament. Robert Field and Jamie Golden in the middle of the park. And Lee Morton, who another player who really was heartbroken at the end there. Of course, 50th cap today for Stuart Walker. 6 of those for Great Britain, 44 for the Scots. Still no Cameron Golden, who after his 2 goals got injured, and that was a painful thing for them. Zhang Dayan starts in goals despite the good form of Kim Chahan. Zhang at the back, important to his team. The quarterback that makes things tick, Lim Doyon, is the other defender who comes on and plays in that role and makes important interventions. Challenge for the Koreans, just 5 goals to their name. Scots also just 5 goals to the name, but Korea far more leaky. And Korea were out of the picture well and truly before the final day. Whereas for Scotland, they went into the final day in charge. It is not the manager, Martin Beckford, that is Neil Allen, and that is Min Tsai-tuk, the head coach of the Koreans. Well, I'm in the studio as Ilanga Kanawatu gets us underway. I'm with South African legend, I'll call her that. She would never call herself that. Over 100 caps for her country and had a few experiences at qualifying tournaments. Kim Hubach. Kim, a a tough bracket to play, the 5 to 8, but both teams will want to finish with a flurry as Korea drive inside. That goes out. But do want to finish with the best possible finisher.
Yeah, for sure. There's still world rankings at stake. It's frustration playing at this stage of the tournament where there's more pride to be played for than actual medals or positions at the World Cup. It's been an interesting tournament for both these teams. One would have thought they would have had a look at the semi-finals. I'm sure coming into the tournament they would have wanted to play there.
Well, the decline of Korean hockey is really hurting. I mean, this is a team who in recent World Cups, of course, they missed 2018. They were there in 2023. And in their 7 appearances, only once didn't finish in the top 8. And now they miss a second in 3 events as their rankings have dropped significantly. Well, they will be heading to the FIH Nations Cup in June. And, well, tough to shake off when all teams are using that, when most of the teams will be using that as a preparation for the World Cup. They will not be doing that as they have missed out. Here's Lee Morton, who was devastated. Here's a chance early on for Scotland. It's driven across and it's just wide. Positive play from Scotland. Lovely ball out wide from Lee Morton onto the left-hand side, and Keir Robb fires it hard and wide.
Yeah, I think just the positioning of the striker on that far post looked like Robb running in there. Maybe if he just held his ground instead of drifting towards where the ball was coming from. A really good play by Scotland.
Lee Morton does play his 90th game for Scotland today. How much is left the legs? It's always tough to make that decision to call time on your international careers. Easier when you go to a major event and you say, well, there we go. Sign out at the Olympics or at the World Cup or possibly even the Commonwealth Games as Scotland look for it on share. Lovely ball across and a penalty corner won by Jamie Golden. Well, I thought Scotland would carry the bigger bruises into this from the missing out on the semi-finals. Far more emotional for them as the manner in which it came. But they have started the game, the better team settled early on. And, well, they're looking to get a first ever victory against Korea. Here's the injection. It'll come. Jamie Golden, top of one course. It is Golden, and it is a golden finish for the Scots. Jamie Golden firing it home. Goal number 39 in test cap number 40. An incredible ratio of a conversion as he fires that home with absolute aplomb. And Scotland, a bright start matched with a scoreline start that is just as bright. Really perfect location for the flick in between the postman and the keeper, and Scotland are smiling.
Yeah, what better way to start it off, and Jamie Golden truly has been the golden boy for Scotland. He's done exceptionally well in his penalty corners in this tournament specifically. Scotland just dropping off slightly on their defensive press. Oh, we've got a man down there wearing it on the body. He has won the free hit as the ball lifted. Looks like it's Douglas.
Jamie is the younger of the two brothers, as the umpire just has a word there. But it's been a pity for them that Cameron, the 2 years older brother, Cameron Golden, has been injured since the opening game because, again, they're two brothers. Cameron, 27 goals from 39 games. Jamie now 39 from 39. It's two very dangerous brothers. And, you know, we talk about the golden generation. They really are that for Scotland. And not having Cameron for the second and third games was a massive blow to the Scots. Of course, they don't have him today either, as he continues to watch on with injury.
Good defensive work there by Korea. They've done well to keep them out. But just haven't seen the speed of attack, the quick passing, quick transition hockey from Korea as yet. It's early days. Opportunity, and what an incredible finish we have there by Scotland. Good movement. And that was Walker who has put it away, goal number 2.
Struan Walker celebrating his 50th cap. Scotland celebrating a riveting start here. Jamie Golden, who turned inside, created the space. And Struan Walker gets the touch, bobbles it up, and finishes it. You can almost feel that Korea on the receiving end of a Scottish backlash for the game that happened against Wales. And well, we're 4 minutes in, and they are already 2-0 down. This could be a very, very long afternoon for the men in red.
Korea just unable to make those connections higher up in the field. Goes over the baseline.
Well, Kim, as the two teams just continue to dust off the the remnants of a bombastic start to this game, let's just remind our viewers, it's Belgium, Netherlands, Australia, Spain. We'll tell you about that now. Struan Walker takes it down. This could be 3. And it is a siege from Scotland. Scotland, the brave. Korea, oh, they are not a single answer. Walker walks around the defense there, fires it home. Despite the touch from the keeper, Scotland are rocking here.
Here we see that replay. Good touch, getting under control. What a phenomenal tomahawk finish.
Yeah, I do think, though, that Yang will be a bit disappointed in goals. They're getting his stick to it, or rather his glove on the stick hand to it. Just didn't have enough power to direct it wide. Almost was expecting to save it with the left hand and didn't put enough force into the right hand. And inside 5 minutes, Scotland are running rampant here. Now the question is, how sore are they from the earlier result against Wales? Are they going to make the Koreans pay the price, seeing a team in red and just trying to bounce back? Well, 5 minutes in, it's been terrible. It's been a terrible start for Korea. Well, I just wanted to dial back quickly. I might have to talk quickly because Scotland are scoring goals at regular intervals. But it's Belgium, Netherlands, Australia, Spain, Argentina, Germany, India, New Zealand, South Africa. They were the teams who had qualified for the World Cup before the tournament started. And of course, we add today England, and an absolutely incredible match of hockey in Ismailia, as Pakistan scored 3 times in the final 6 minutes to turn a 3-1 deficit into a 4-3 win and qualify for the FIH Hockey World Cup. The 2 Pro League nations getting through there. Japan and Malaysia will play off in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And depending who finishes in a 4th place here, both of those 2 teams could make it. Because later on tonight, we will add 2 more qualifiers to the FIH World Cup for 2026. As Scotland turn this up high on the field, it's Lee Morton. Holds the ball, goes to the left. Scotland superb so far. Absolutely breathless. Korea, body language dipping so early.
Yeah, one would have hoped that leading into this game, that Korea would have worked on their defensive vulnerabilities, but It's been an incredible start to Scotland, and it's just rubbing salt in their wounds at the moment. There we see the coach from Korea, not a happy man.
Well, Min Tae-tuk has not had too much to smile about throughout the week in Santiago. And this is not going to make him any happier from what we have seen so far. Yeah. A reminder of how their week has gone. They actually started it in a fairly confident way. It was a 2-3 defeat to Poland. That was a game they led into the 50th minute. They had penalty corners to stretch that lead before Poland fired back through Jasinski and Langa to make it a 3-2 win from Poland. A massive surprise that was, as this ball gets lifted across. Scotland do get the second bite of the cherry here. We'll come back to that in a little bit. It's a free hit to the Scots, just outside the circle. That ball drops down and Scotland just build. Korea then took on Ireland, and that game was also 1-1 at the end of the first quarter. They conceded 2 late goals in the first half. It was well taken out of the air, and they ended up losing that 6-1, and then they completely capitulated against the Canadians, despite once again leading a game. They were 1-0 up. They found themselves on the end of a heavy 7-2 defeat. And they've come out here and look completely deflated today. Really don't look up for the game just yet. And, well, you're chasing a 3-0 deficit in the opening 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not an easy place to come back from. We haven't really seen much energy from Korea, which we have come to get used to seeing in their transition and winning the ball, but they're not winning much ball off Scotland at the moment. Umpire wanting that ball taken on the exact spot. Korea will win that crucial free hit in the attacking 25. Scotland's number 7, Jamie Golden, not sure why. Could have been a bit of an Oscar tumble and turn there from Korea.
It does happen maybe a little bit too often in the modern day of hockey, is players do exaggerate contact. Didn't happen when you were playing, eh, Kim?
No, never. Wouldn't be guilty of that at all.
You're a defender. Defenders never fell over. Unless they were diving to score. Well, this is a little bit better from Korea. I know they've lost ball there, but they're contesting. They're competing higher up. They almost just didn't start the game, and that's a nice take. Oh, well, the call is not 5. It was very, very close. I think it might be just about inside. It's hard to tell from real time. Not clearly enough wrong for Scotland to go and refer. Let's have a look.
Was a bit of obstruction there too.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think almost more the second player than the one that actually wins it is the player who's infringed on the 5 there.
Yeah, for sure. Penalty corner for Korea. It will be a crucial one for them as we go into the final 5 minutes of this first quarter.
Here it goes. Chance, another penalty corner is awarded.
Umpire ushering the defence in as quick as possible. It is a re-award, so it gets taken immediately. No chance to discuss new options.
Always a chance. Sign language chance, and there's the goal. Korea have arrived in this 5-8 playoff game at last. And, well, interesting enough, there is a 0 reaction from Min Tae-tuk, as probably feels frustrated that they are where they are in this game.
Really well picked up there. by Korea's number 15, Johan Lim, created the space to find the space on the right-hand post, just footing the Scottish keeper. He's done very well.
Yeah, Tommy Alexander just getting caught in between whether you go with your leg or your hand there, and it's just in that stretched out region. Very interesting though, Lim Do-yeon, who scored Korea's first penalty corner of the tournament. That is the first time he has taken a penalty corner since that, and he gets a second. It's a very strange situation. Does not seem to be the go-to man, but he's 2 from 2 in this tournament. Well, that may bring this game a lot closer to being a competition now, as Korea will start to believe they've settled into the game. You know, sometimes when you have an early siege like Scotland had there, you do start getting a bit complacent.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely looks like Korea have found some energy getting in. And it'll be penalty corner number 3 earned for Korea once again.
Well, do you go straight back to Lim here? That went against McConnell for the tackle. Well, this game is absolutely turning on its head now. It looked like Scotland were marching their way to a 10-0 win. McConnell puts his hand on the back. Doesn't need to give a second invitation, and small push results in a penalty corner. And well, there is the man with a 100% record in this tournament so far. Stands at the top of the first castle, Lim. Of course, he has the man with 337 caps at the second. It goes to Lim again. Well, he won't keep a 100% record, not through his own fault. It should be another penalty corner here. All right, Jamie Golden is going to refer, saying that that was dangerous.
Sorry, we're a video process. Sorry. Cindy?
Yes, Yilango.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Yilango.
Okay. It's a team referred by Scotland. They claim the ball is danger and it's a high ball.
Okay, you gave the
So I
corner
award a
and they
PT for
asked.
the foot.
Okay, they asked for dangers.
So that's obviously the foot.
Yeah, Jamie Golden has felt that hit his knee, but I think his knee was very low to the ground there if it hit the back knee.
It's a tough call to make.
This should give you the right angle.
Decision coming. Yilango,
Yes, Cindy?
there's no clear reason to change your decision. Start with the penalty corner and Scotland lose the referral.
Yeah, now I understand why Jamie Golden referred that, because he's felt that hit his thigh. But what he hasn't realized is at the moment that it's hit his thigh was basically on the floor.
Yeah, he had bent down quite low. It's a brave referral so early in the game. Scotland have lost it now. Yeah, it's hard to say when you're in that situation as a player. You feel like it's hit high, but as you say, Tyron, he was definitely low to the ground.
It's a tough scenario, but it is a penalty corner. And if they can give a good injection here, can Korea half the current deficit? And they're staring down the barrel of what could have been a 6 or 7-0 first quarter. It could be one goal down here. Oh, that is brilliantly defended. Oh, I need to see the replay of that. That ball moved super fast. It went back to Yang. He said to Lim, you've had your chance. It's mine. And it's another penalty corner. It's all Korea right now.
Yeah, fifth one for this quarter. Korea have definitely woken up and they'll look to convert this one. Scotland did really well to defend that previous one. Yeah, we see the reward for the penalty corner. Definite obstruction of the ball.
Well, Yang and Lim change castles here. Yang moves left, Lim to the right. Oh, it's a goal line clearance. It will be another penalty corner for Danger. Jamie Golden almost looked a little bit casual in clearing that. Too easy as that ball bobbles up off of Alexander.
Yeah, just the danger there, but really well cleared off. One hand nonetheless.
Zhang again. This is another foot. It's a swarm, a avalanche, a storm of penalty corners in favor of the Koreans. Can they find a second here? They switch castles. It goes to Lim. And it's charged out and defended, and it did cross the baseline. No, it was a backstick in trying to keep it in there.
Not sure why he'd want to keep it in at the risk of giving the possession away.
Chance here for the Koreans, a shot, and it's a goal! Oh my, Scotland are being caught out here. And this time there is a bit more reaction off of the bench from the Korean side. Given too much space in the middle, and this game has very much exhibition hockey feel about it now. Just creating a little bit of space, and the finish into the roof of the net. Absolutely superb from Chun Min Soo. And, well, having been 3-0 down, Korea are just one goal away from going in at the end of the first quarter level.
Yeah, definite change of pace and change of dynamics in this game in these last final 5 minutes. We definitely have a game on our hands here. Good movement of the ball by Scotland. Korea just dropping off slightly into a half-court press. They'll be happy with their performance in the final 5 minutes of this quarter. There we see the typical Korean change of pace, turnover, and quick counter-attack hockey, which was lacking in the first couple of minutes when we saw Scotland take the lead.
Oh, Kim, the questions will be, what happened in that first 5 minutes? And maybe where has Scotland's intensity gone since that? As it really is the Koreans, who despite having conceded 3 goals in this quarter, are far more likely to go into the break happy.
Yeah, for sure. I think Scotland, it's tough when you go so far ahead. I mean, 3 goals lead so early on. It's almost you sit back and relax. And that was to their detriment. They've got what they were cut out for them right now. Korea looking for that aerial, just taking a deflection, but they'll get the free hits on the sideline as we go into the final 60 seconds of this first quarter.
Oh, it's been an incredible quarter. 5 goals. We haven't had 5 goals in the first quarter here in Santiago so far. Oh, that one could have been 6 if it had a sneaky touch on it. Scotland will just want to regroup after this. Look at that power of the pass straight into the ankle. Mensai took, still yet to crack a smile. Brought down, almost picked up on the rebound. Saying that Shun Walker hit the stick there. Walker perplexed by the decision. It's a huge overhead by Zhang. And it won't result in anything. And Scotland will take a lead at the end of this quarter into the first interval. But it's a much smaller lead than it looked like it could have been after a firing start. Scotland landing not 1, not 2, but 3 punches in the opening 5 minutes. But Korea systematically and slowly brought it back. And after 15 minutes in Santiago, it is Scotland 3, Korea 2. Well, it hasn't always been the case in the tournament, Kim, but our first quarter highlights package is going to be a busy one.
Yeah, it's quite a large amount of goals that we've seen in this first quarter. Proves to be exciting hockey, which is always nice to see.
Absolutely. It was a Scottish start out of absolute perfection. Jamie Golden firing home. A sublime penalty corner. Stuart Walker reacting. Jamie Golden, the creator, celebrating his 50th cap. And then, of course, Stuart Walker getting another on the 50th cap. And after 5 minutes, Scotland barely even celebrating. It was too easy. But 10 minutes later, they are going to be breathing a bit deeper as they saw the score cut back. Lim getting 1 goal from the penalty corner. Korea having a number of penalty corners in their favor. And then they would get a second after a prolonged period of pressure. Chuan on the far post turns, creates a small bit of space. No chance for Alexander. And after 15 minutes, it is Scotland that lead, but Korea that probably believe. Well, we are back underway here for the second quarter. Korea with the tail, or the wind beneath their sail. Scotland hoping to pull the tail out from between the legs. The last 5 minutes of that quarter were all Korea. We do have a game on our hands. We were concerned maybe after that first 5 minutes this was going to be anything but a spectacle. Korea have ensured that it has a chance of being a classic. Free hit here to the Koreans, just outside the circle. Scotland have barely touched the ball in the opposition half in the last 5-6 minutes of game time.
Yeah, Korea definitely taking charge of this game now. Good ball in. Tried for the deflection, well saved. They still in possession is Korea. Slap at goals, a good save once again by the keeper. Scotland just holding off slightly, allowing Korea to play the ball around the back. Their threat is in the midfield for Korea, so they'll be happy to have them play the ball around the back.
Well, we are whetting your appetite for 2 World Cup qualifying games this evening. France taking on Poland. Ireland taking on Wales. It's always an interesting one there because Wales have a fantastic record against Ireland. They'll be hopeful of keeping that, especially in certain big games. Poland, the underdogs, of course, will believe in themselves, as they have done in this tournament. It really is 2 tantalizing games. For Poland and Wales, of course, looking at the world ranking of teams, they will definitely prefer to get the job done today and go into that bronze medal match with the extra pressure. That's brilliantly taken out by Walker. Oh, it's scored! It's a hat-trick for Stuart Walker from an acute angle. I'm not sure he was having a shot necessarily. And, well, there goes the borrowed Frau of Minsai Tsuk gets back. Once again, what a way to celebrate your 50th test cap. Getting a hat-trick inside 20 minutes. And we'll just have a look at how this was taken down. Oh, it was credit there to Kim, who wasn't the 5. Oh, it's deflected in. off the
Just
defender's
deflected off
stick.
the defender. Unfortunate there. But well done by Walker. He took that aerial cleanly. Patience, looked for the cross, but that was going to be a sure goal if the defender hadn't deflected into the goal anyway.
Well, not all goals are pretty goals. He scored a rather entertaining one, the second one. A good one, the third goal for Scotland. This one, well, this fits firmly into what we can call the column lucky. We do have a green card here. The first card of the game.
Yeah, that card going to Lee Morton. He'll be on the bench on the sideline for 2 minutes. Scotland will play a man down. Here we see what happened there.
Well, it was making no attempt to get outside of the 5. Korea played very quickly while he's busy appealing. Well, the umpire setting the tone for the way he's going to blow those infringements. Korea up the left-hand side.
Here we see Morton on the sideline. He'll be frustrated with that. Just careless and not necessary in this time.
Well, Walker scoring what is just the second hat-trick of this tournament so far. Victor Charlet scoring the first in a 5-0 win against Wales. The game was umpired by a certain Darren Hubach. You may have heard of him before, Kim.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Surname sounds familiar.
Well, 4-2, the scoreline to Scotland will feel all of a sudden a lot more comfortable than actually the 3-1 did, because it just broke the momentum a little bit for the Koreans. Trying to dive and keep that in is Alistair Richmond on the right-hand side. The pass a bit too heavy. Morton returns to the fray. The green card expires, not causing any damage. Zhang looks to lead his team forward and receives it back. He is effortless. Look at that. He hardly swings the stick, and yet can make a ball generate incredible pace that covers 30 meters with ease.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the men's game. They do move the ball really quickly across big distances.
Yeah, absolutely they do. Oh, Lim trying to win that ball. Look at the sweat there. Just shows you the heat is building. Not currently under heat protocol, but would be very surprised if we aren't later. We are getting another card here. It's a green card for Scotland again. Shake of the head, but...
Well, Scotland will have to look at their discipline. It's Jamie Kroll on the sideline for them now for 2 minutes. They don't want that catching up with them after such a good start in this first half. Good movement by Korea, entering into the circle. Great shot.
And he topped it, and the topping of it, they've won a penalty corner here. It's hit the back stick, or I actually think it's hit the arm. Oh, well, this is interesting. There is a referral. They want an upgrade to a stroke. Let's listen in.
Yes, Yilango. I can hear you, Yilango.
Yeah. I was the penalty corner for the body of the Scotland player.
I couldn't hear you, Yilango.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, now I can hear. Can you repeat?
Clear now?
Yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cindy, I award the penalty corner for the body of the Scotland player.
Yes.
A Korean team referral, they're claiming for the penalty stroke.
Okay. Looking for there's a stroke or not.
Yes.
Well, it was interesting. This was a top shot, or a shot that deflected, and that caused a little bit of chaos in the middle. And they're asking for a stroke, going off his feet there and playing it with his body. Let's have a look at it from this angle. This might be telling.
Yeah, it's brave. I'm not an umpire myself,
I have your advice
but
for
I have
you.
been warned for diving
Okay.
tackles.
It's for the body from the defender from the Scotland, but before that, the Korean player swing into the air. So I recommend the free hit to the Scotland, and the Korea keep the referral.
Oh, it's a big decision, Jan, and this will be interesting.
So it comes from, it was a brave referral, I thought, from Korea. They haven't lost their referral, but it came from so what happened is the video umpire saw a infringement before it actually hit the body of the defender. The Korean swung and missed, so causing danger, which means it's a free hit out to Scotland.
Yeah, so I mean, just a reminder to viewers, once you ask for the referral, the video umpire is almost required to look at all the play in the circle entry and in and around the quarter entry. There is the confirmation of Jamie Kroll's green card, which will feel longer because of the video referral. And so Zhu does look at it. So, yes, I do think Korea had a case for a penalty stroke there. However, before the foul of Morton going off his feet there was an infringement from the Koreans, and by virtue of referring it, asking for an upgrade from a penalty corner to a stroke, they lose their penalty corner.
Yeah, that's mother hockey for you. But well done by the video umpire there. It was well seen. Good movement of the ball by Korea once again. Oh, just a mistrap, but manages to get out of a sticky situation. Looking for the long ball in, just coming off the defender's stick outside the circle.
Well, Owen McConnell just having a discussion there. I'm not sure what language they were using, but they both nod their heads as if they understand. And these are, well, that's going to be a penalty corner. That is poor discipline from the Scots, and David Nairn is getting a card here. He puts his hand on the back. He immediately puts his face in his hand. It was just a moment of madness from him. No danger at all. Puts his hand, gives a push. Look at this. You'll see it here clearly. Straight on the back. And immediately knew what he had done.
And played that ball deliberately over the baseline as well. Yeah, so Scotland are definitely going to have to look at their discipline going into the second half.
Third card of the half for Scotland. First yellow. That's 9 collective minutes in which they've had a player off the park.
And they currently have 2 off, I think. Defender breaking early. So now
Yes, McFadden, who is ruled to have broken early. Oh, apologies, it's McConnell. Looked like he was talking to McFadden at first there. And that is saved on the post going out. I'm not sure if it quite clipped the first runner's stick. But Korea will see that as a golden opportunity. A defender short that they didn't take. They play the overhead diagonally. Get a circle entry again, turn. Find a foot in the middle, and it is a penalty corner. Scotland asking for a referral there. They don't have one. So they need to keep quiet.
Frustration building up here. It feels like it in the Scottish camp. As they took the lead quite early, but have been defending for quite some time now.
Well, the green card expired, the yellow card hasn't, and here's a chance. And that's dangerous, and that will be very, very sore for McConnell. It'll take a little while to stand up there. Good running from McConnell, just getting there very quick. It looked like it hit right on the hip. He first, before he felt the pain, had to first confirm he was getting the call.
That's 9 penalty corners for Korea. They were able to convert their second one, but since then, they haven't been able to convert that. High press by Korea in the corner. Scotland forced to play almost a mini game out of that deep corner.
Yeah, it's an interesting game because in this quarter as well, Scotland scored the goal, a very fortuitous goal. McConnell cramped in there. And he's won himself the free hit and does well to play it quickly. Looks for the diagonal. But they've been under the cosh a little bit here as Lockering unable to keep that in. I'll tell you what, if somebody does catch him smiling at some point, that could go viral. His team gives him moments to smile, at least in this game, after a shell-shocking start, finding themselves 3-0 down inside 5 minutes, conceding a hat-trick within 20 minutes. They have done well to bring themselves back into the game. They've held possession. They've had a lot of penalty corners. 11 penalty corners to just 1 for the Scots. That's unbelievable. They've probably had more possession as well subsequent to that start. But they just really being suffocated at important times. Scotland's discipline could be a key factor as this game goes. Just a 2-goal game at this point. Not much in that. And well, snatched at that chance a little bit and knocks it out the back from Kim. Well, 4 minutes remain in this first half. Neil Morton fires an overhead across the field, brilliantly taken down and controlled. Scotland looking to find a fifth to re-establish a 3-goal lead.
All broken down there by Jamie Golden. So what you want to do against Korea is just break their momentum on the attacking play. Their speed can be detrimental. Frustration there.
Well, another penalty corner for a push. Scotland inviting pressure on themselves. Big discussions there between Morton and Rim. You see that Park just gets there to play mediator.
It's definitely a shove in the back there with the stick. Morton's already received a card for this specifically.
Morton, one of the players who really felt the devastation of the Welsh game and maybe bringing some of that frustration out here. Yang with the shot, and it's wide, deflected wide, that is. Alexander talking to his team, saying, wake up, boys. 12 penalty corners he's had to face in a half. That is a remarkable amount of penalty corners to face, and it's a remarkably poor conversion rate so far for the Koreans. 1 from 12. It's probably there's a good reason why they're sitting in the 5 to 8 brackets and not the 1 to 4. They struggled with penalty corners against Poland. Lee dives in. Oh, this is going to be a surely. Oh, Korea somehow don't find the goal. Everything opened up there for them. Scotland a little bit sleepy in defense. And Choi going for a cross rather than a shot. And you actually think the shot was probably the better option there.
Yeah, one felt like the Scottish had just stopped playing, really. Gave him all the opportunity in the world to decide what he wanted to do.
Oh, well, sometimes when you have too much time to think, your mind wanders. For the Koreans.
Umpire adamant it's got to be taken on the exact spot. Can create frustration for the players as it breaks the momentum of going forward.
Well, a 6-goal first half. That is kept in on the touch but goes out. And 6 goals, but how many more will we see in the second? Here is the penalty corner. And it is a good stick save. Not 100% sure that was on target, but Tommy Alexander wouldn't have known that or not. And made sure he made the save. No doubt at all there. Summoning his Gwen Stefani. Up the left-hand side, it's a good and beautiful ball. Problem is, nobody else there.
Scotland back to numbers now as we go into the final minute of this first half. One would feel that Korea's been in control of this second quarter. They've had more attacking opportunities, but just not able to convert any, which sees us with Scotland leading 4-2.
Well, this quarter is, of course, 1-0 to Scotland, despite the Korean penalty corner weaponry, despite the penalty corner, the possession advantage, despite the territorial advantage. And you know, that will play on the mind of the Koreans, because in a couple of games in this tournament against Ireland, they had a dominant quarter. When it was 1-1, it was the second quarter, and yet they found themselves 3-1 down. So Kroll tries to fire that in with venom. Nobody getting even anywhere near that channel of that ball. Zhang watches it go out quite happily. And with 10 seconds to go to the half-time break, Scotland, who have survived under a extreme amount of pressure in this quarter, are halfway there to a first ever victory against the Koreans. They started this game brilliantly. Stuart Walker has a hat-trick to his name. Jamie Golden got the first goal, but Lim and Chuan pulled goals back, and Korea have it all to do in the second half. Half-time here in Santiago. It's Scotland 4, Korea 2. Well, if you're joining us, it was an absolute walloping start to the game by Scotland. 3-0 up. This was the third. And Struan Walker already had 2 innings 50th cap. And they looked like they were romping their way to a big win, but Korea did start to come back.
And here we see their first goal. Really, really well done there by Lim. Created space for himself and found the bottom corner, left-hand corner. It was his second from 2 short corners. And then they came back with a cracking second goal. As we see him take it on his reverse to creating a little bit of space. And then we see Struan Walker's third, his hat trick. A little bit of an unconventional goal coming off from the defender.
Yeah, well,
But a goal's a goal.
a goal is a goal, no own goals. So credit goes to the striker, and as a defender, I perfectly agree with that. It's Scotland who lead you by 4 goals to 2. The stats, though, will be quite a scary tale for the Scots who faced a number of penalty corners, a lot of them given away through ill discipline. And I want to rectify that in the second half of action here in Santiago. Both these teams want to play for 5th place. They want the rankings. There's the confirmation. Korea, 60% of the possession, 10 penalty corners, 13 circle penetrations, more shots, and only 2 goals. Scotland, though, need to keep that discipline and keep players on the park. Make sure you stay with us for the second half live wherever you are watching.
And we're back for the second half of this 5-8 playoff game. And Scotland are leading Korea 4-2. Not from a lack of effort for Korea. They went into halftime with 12 penalty corners and only able to convert one. A lot of work to be done here, but it proves to be an exciting game ahead for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain this game because Scotland came out with fire and brimstone in the opening 5 minutes, scoring 3 goals. Korea pulled 2 goals back and then somehow managed to concede in a time where they were absolutely on top. Of course, as you can see from the graphic in your top left-hand corner, Scotland have lost their referral. Korea had one of the more entertaining referrals where they referred a penalty corner for a stroke. It was the right decision. However, there was dangerous play before that. So they keep their referral because their question was correct. But something else that hadn't been noticed is noticed, and really good video umpiring it was by Zhu. Well, Scotland need to have better discipline. They gave away a number of penalty corners in that first half. A lot of time, I think it was 4 times, 4 separate occasions. It was for a push in the back outside the circle. And when you've got players of the caliber of the Koreans, eventually those penalty corners aren't going to be hitting the outside advertising hoarding anymore. They're going to hit the back of the goal. Oh, McConnell was one of those players. There is, I'm not sure he moved at halftime. Inside took. He watches on, asking himself many questions, right, and not having enough answers right now.
Yeah, by the first 5 minutes of the game, Korea definitely have been in possession and in control of this game, but not able to capitalize on the opportunities that they are creating for themselves in the circle.
Well, he took over in 2024 in May when he went to the Aslan Shah Cup. Has led the team to the Nations Cup in Poland, the Nations Cup in Malaysia, a couple of Asia Cups, as well as an Aslan Shah. And, he's 41 games into his reign. And there's a lot more questions than answers right now about the depth of Korean hockey. Who's the future? Zhang closing in on 42 years of age. How long does he continue to play for the country? And how do they make sure they're getting enough hockey so that other players are able to develop?
Yeah, it's always a fine balance between that experience and the youth that you need to come through.
Oh, that looked so.
Has become quite physical from the Scottish side.
Well, Ilanga Kanabatu struggling to communicate with the play. Oh, I need to see a reverse angle. Almost looks like a dead leg here. This might give us just catching the knee into the gluteus maximus, causing a maximus amount of pain. It's one of those horrible ones, dead leg. You are able to run them off usually.
I think at this stage of the tournament, fatigue is setting in. The heat has been excruciating.
Well, on that note, the heat protocol has been implemented for this third quarter, which means our break between quarters will be 4 minutes long, not the standard 2 minutes. So it just tells you about it. He's grabbing almost the coccyx there. He looks in tremendous amounts of pain. It looked fairly ominous of a coming together.
Probably just the wrong angle.
Like the whole situation. That's it for misconduct.
Made the connection.
Okay.
Cindy?
Yes,
Please
I can
check
hear
for me
you.
there's any misconduct.
Okay, looking for
Well,
the
Ilanga
serious
will
misconduct.
just. Well, they will just ask you to look for misconduct. It didn't look like anything to me, but just maybe we'll see something now.
Decision coming. Ilango,
Yes, indeed.
there's no serious misconduct. Stand with
Yeah.
your decision.
Please,
Can
I
you hear me?
Yeah, it just looked like a bit of a clash of bodies.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she did check it. I thought it was completely ominous. Well,
I think what
Rutherford
might be
just sorry. I think he was saying, did he not dive? Was it not over the top? I do think he's hurt himself, but I don't think there's anything in that. I just think it was a coming together.
So I think the Scottish also questioning this because it's outside of the 25. So normally your video referrals are only within the 25-yard area, but I think it was an umpire's own referral for misconduct.
Yeah, of course. For the viewers, any misconduct can be researched, of course, by an umpire, not by a team. And it wasn't Korea who asked for that. It was Kanabatu, and it's standard procedure from the umpires. When a player does go down after a coming together, you do just want to check to make sure that there was nothing untoward. Big ball up the left. Scotland win this, looking for a chance to stretch this to a 3-goal lead, and it's a golden chance as they win a penalty corner.
Yeah, this is only the second penalty corner for Scotland, but they do have the golden lethal weapon with Jamie Golden at the top of the circle there. All worked, just a touch. Looking for the shot, but unable to get it off. One would like to think it will definitely be going to Golden.
Well, he's got one from one so far, and good luck telling him that it's not going to him.
Golden on Castle one. That is where it goes. It's an incredible flick.
That ball was rising, that ball was climbing, and that ball was accelerating as it smashes into the back of the net. And he looks up with delight, and Canada, Scotland, who've been under the cosh, re-establish a 3-goal lead. That is perfection. And, well, the aptly named Golden produces another one of those golden moments.
What a goal. There was no stopping that.
Well, at the start of this game, we had one hat-trick in the tournament. We now have 2, and we have Jamie Golden just a goal away. And again, this is where Minsai Tuk and the Koreans will be absolutely devastated. They have dominated large parts of the game for the last 20 minutes. But in those 20 minutes, they have conceded twice and not scored.
Well, the pressure is back on Korea as they go down 3 goals once again. I think it'll be frustration for them to have been in this situation twice now, and yet they have actually dominated this game.
Lovely ball into the circle. It's come across. Oh, it just wanted someone to gamble on it. That's great defensive work from McAllister to get it out.
Moving the ball by Scotland there, finding the space on the opposite side.
Harwood with the back pass to McConnell. Those under your shoulder back passes always look great when they land, but look absolutely terrible when they don't. Free it to Scotland just outside the circle. Walker takes it, gets his 5, goes inside. That's good defensive work to break that up. McConnell comes back and breaks up the counter-attacking. Oh, Korea, who had swaths of possession and plenty of the ball, had plenty set pieces, A remarkable stat today, of course, will read as simple as Korea at a penalty corner time, 1 from 12. Scotland, 2 from 2. Shrill blow of the whistle, another warning there. Well, there is a card here. It is a green card.
This time to Korea.
Their first of the game.
Yeah, just the lifting of the stick there, creating the danger, unnecessarily creating the danger. And that green card goes to Cheon Min-soo.
Yeah, the goal scorer who scored the second. At that point, they made it 3-2. And then subsequent to that, they have had most of the game. Yet they find themselves 5-2 down. It's a disappointing but recurring story for the Koreans in world hockey. Well, 5-2, the Scots lead. The heartbreak of the Welsh game. Well, it won't be forgotten. It won't be consigned to memory just yet. But a victory here today will definitely help the healing process begin.
And if Scotland win here, it will be the first time that they've beaten Korea. Yeah, we see where that card came from. Cheon Min-soo, 2 minutes on the bench.
Kim, did you play Korea in your career?
Yeah, we played them a couple of times. They are fast-paced. It was always difficult to play against them. Fast, very attacking hockey, and the transition from defense to attack is normally quite quick. And their players are very quick, which would normally catch you off guard. So it's interesting for me to see that Korea have dropped down so much in the last couple of years in the world rankings.
Yeah, definitely been a disappointment for the Koreans. Of course, Kim, you also played here in Santiago, Chile in the Junior World Cup. I'm not going to say which year, but Chile, a wonderful host of hockey, and I mean, a bunch of years later, 3 or 4 years later, they still continue to host tremendously.
Yeah, it is a fantastic country, fantastic venue, world class, absolute world class. Hence, they're getting a lot of the tournaments, and the people are just so friendly and accommodating in the country.
It was a very good tournament for you in the South African team, finishing in the top 8.
Yeah, it was a good one for us. It was a good couple of years ago.
2020 is not that long ago. Lovely work from Jamie Golden. Everything he does with this bustle of energy. As soon as he injects a little bit of pace, you just feel like he can make something happen. McAllister hand goes onto the back there, not picked up by the umpires. As fortunately, didn't put any force into a push there. The strange thing that the Scots have done today, a lot of times taking their hands off their sticks, and well, that one they celebrate for a PC, but it was dangerous.
And they're unable to refer it as they lost their referral in the first few minutes of the game.
Well, if they had referred that, they would have lost that as well. I think it was one of those occasions where you cheer to put pressure on the umpire, even though you know.
It's worth a try.
Well, that was well kept in, but Scotland won the free hit. Big ding into the circle, but that's easily dealt with. And here's another chance for Scotland. Oh, this one is saved. The rebound, though, is put away. And Stuart Walker gets a fourth. After all the work from Jamie Golden, I do feel Korea will probably use their referral here just to ask a question.
If you will see it in the referral now, you do see that they do stop.
Refer by Korea.
I lose your voice, Ilango.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Please check for me. Attacker's foot in the circle.
Okay, Korea looking for the foot.
Yeah, I thought
inside
that
the
might have
circle.
been a foot. And the Koreans did stop playing. Defenders stopped completely and then carried on. You can see it over here. That's what they're looking for. You see the quick stop and then carry on playing.
Yeah, I think this angle might give it the best chance. Did that hit Lee Morton's stick, or did that catch his glove? Yeah.
Neither.
And side angle looked pretty clear cut to me.
Yeah, this angle's a good angle to see that on.
Decision coming.
Yes, indeed.
Ilango,
Yes, indeed.
I have the advice for you. It was foot from the attacker. You can restart with the free hit out, and Korea keep the referral.
Okay.
Well, Stone Walker will not get his fourth of the game, and the score will not move to Scotland 6-2. There was good high press from Jamie Golden to create that goal-scoring opportunity. And again, Stone Walker's positioning really good. But, I mean, the turnover really was affected because of how the ball bounced off the foot. Lee there doesn't control, and it goes out. Good work at the back from Scotland. Well, 3 more games today, and then, of course, over the weekend, we've got 6 games on Saturday, 6 on Sunday, as the women's tournament moves to its semi-final phase tomorrow. That's a lovely interchange there from McConnell, who drives inside, will create a circle entry and a shot. That is a brilliant piece of individual skill. He's charged. And he has about the Scottish score changing to 6 on this time. And it is that man, McConnell, who has brought a moment of magic.
Yeah, he did so well here, using his body. And what an incredible diving tomahawk into the bottom left-hand corner.
Well, keeper did get his foot to it, just reacting a little bit slow, which meant it was an edge of a foot rather than a powerful foot. Disappointment for Zhang, but McConnell's bustering run getting rewarded with a goal. He picked that up just on the halfway line and produced a moment that will live long for him in his memory. Beautiful goal for Scotland, and they now lead this game by 6 goals to 2. And as they did in the first 5 minutes, they've now scored 3 unanswered goals.
Scotland definitely smiling after this quarter. A lot better than that second one.
Yeah, it's really been a strange game, Kim, because Scotland were belligerent in the opening 5 minutes. Korea dominated for 25 minutes and found themselves conceding again. And well, it's been a little bit more even. You see the Korean bodies start to drop, the energy starts to drop. Scotland taking advantage and pulling the game away.
Penalty corner for a stick check from Scotland. It'll be penalty corner number 13 for Korea. Will it be lucky number 13 or just another one that goes to the side?
Well, you feel there's still a long time to go in this game with 18 minutes or so left. Zhang, that was, well, he's had to stretch at that. And that created the difficulty. Not a great injection, and it's unlucky number 13. But Hakim, you just feel that we almost at that point where if they don't get a goal soon, early in the final quarter would still be okay. Yeah, you see, just as he's stopped that and lifted it, the ball's just pulled a little bit away from the run. Lim continues to wait for his next shot at goal in this game, despite being the only one to score a penalty corner in this game. Oh, that's a lazy tackle from Jamie Golden. Can put his hand up and ask, but rather get back and defend. That's a poor ball through the middle of Korea. Turn it around. Schüler Walker waits for the player to dive in for the tackle. Turns, and now there's space. Field tries to play the diagonal to Walker. Instead, we'll find a supporting runner on the outside. Get it to the baseline is Lee Morton, who looks into the middle and finds a foot, but it's a blue foot.
Great change of pace. Kroll struggling to keep up there, but he's done well and defends, gets the ball off there. Impressive defensive work, and he surely can celebrate that.
Yeah, I love it when I see a defender pull off a really good tackle and celebrate like that. It just shows you what it means to a defender when they make a challenge like that, when they break up play, when they bring an opportunity like that to a conclusion. It's an important part of the game, and almost wish we saw more defenders celebrating. It also really hacks off the forwards, which creates entertainment for us.
Yeah, disappointing third quarter for the Koreans. They've got their work cut out for them, but as we've seen in this game, it's not impossible. We definitely don't want to see Scotland take their foot off the accelerator as they go into this final quarter, leading this game 6-2.
If you were the Koreans now, I mean, what do you say to a team who have had much of the opportunities but just haven't done anything with it?
If I was the coach, I'd pretty much have run out of advice and just say you've got to score a goal, and the only people who can do that is the people that are on the field. You've got to sort it out.
Well, this is how Scotland got themselves their fifth goal. Jamie Golden, of course, they thought they had a sixth. After that, when Jamie Golden did turn almost creator, his shot was saved. Schüler Walker fired it home. But as you'll see in the highlights now, in this prolonged heat break, you'll see that it was, in fact, a brilliant McConnell. Picks it up just inside the half, cuts inside 3 players, goes inside Zhang, and finishes superbly. 6-2 to Scotland. Arguably the goal of the game. But Schüler Walker will probably argue that. Well, one final quarter remains here in Santiago. Scotland leading this game by 6-2. We'll be back with you just after this next minute or so to navigate the final 15 minutes. Well, one more quarter remains here in Santiago. It is the Scottish who have just been too good for Korea, executing consistently and using that to their advantage to pull this game away from the Koreans. Well, Kim, it was a quarter in which Scotland definitely were a little bit more disciplined than they had been in this game, and that was important. It was also a quarter in which they slowly but surely started to nullify the threat of the Koreans in winning penalty corners and more. Not five, and win themselves a free hit. And, well, there is going to be a card here. There's a 5-minute yellow, which will just make the challenge all that much harder for the Koreans.
Yeah, interesting to see the discipline from Korea. You see that Rum Ying Kang getting that yellow card. 5 minutes that they'll be a man down. Korea dropping really deep into the defense. And I would hope that puts Scotland under a bit more pressure in this final quarter as they're chasing 3 goals.
Oh, 4.
Oh, for a win, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, maths wasn't a strong point.
it's fine. Defenders didn't have to be good at maths. They just had to keep the ball out. Yeah, it's unfortunately a movie, a scene we've seen before from Korea in this World Cup qualifier. They contest well, but then in a quarter where they dominate and then they concede, they've just ended games very abject. The energy just drops. Yes, it's hot, but you just sense that belief and frustration, the belief diminishes as the frustration increases, and you just look a dejected bunch at the end of games. And they will hope desperately that they're able to find something from this.
Yeah, it's definitely a frustration. You can see it in their body language, as you say, Tyron. And that, I think, Scotland are smart, will feed off that, which we see in this attacking moment. Good use of the back space, great save.
There is Rim Jin Kang's confirmation of his yellow card. We're already about a minute and a half into it. But it's a great chance for Scotland to go and seal a first ever victory against Korea.
And a convincing one at that.
Yeah, comfortable, really comfortable. Of course, the outstanding stat from this game, Kim, the stat that will be probably the most devastating. Look at this, and that is another goal for the Scots. It's easy in the middle as it's put away. Final touch from Rob Harwood at the back post. And Scotland in 7th heaven here, as they have completely dismantled any possible challenge. Whoa, I actually think I may have discreditedly given that goal to the wrong player. It is, in fact, Struan Walker who steals it off of the stick of Harwood. And he gets 4, the first player to score 4 in a game in the tournament. Harwood celebrates with him. Walker apologizes. Well, the question now is, are Scotland going to try and get to double figures? Because Korea look absolutely crestfallen.
They'll be frustrated there, unable to get their quick counter-attack on. Higher press from Scotland here. putting Korea under pressure. Great turnover in the midfield.
Scotland again just controlling the pace of the game now, which for so long in the first half and in the early parts of the second, the dictation of the pace of the game was done by Korea. They were holding possession, holding the ball. Here's a chance for Nen up the right-hand side. Well, that should... they're unfortunate there, Nen. I thought there was a stick check there. Not sure if it was inside or outside. We'd have to see that on a replay.
But unfortunately, they don't have their video referral anymore. They lost that in the first probably about 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, ages ago. Of course, a longer game because all the penalty corners with the 40-second stops, all the goals with the restarts, clock stops. And, Kanabatu having a word here with Walker, asking him to calm down. And he is talking back, risking the wrath here.
That frustration, it can creep in games like this. Yeah, going back to the drawing board, I think Korea will look at this and be unbelievably disappointed with, 13 penalty corners and you only convert one. You definitely not going to win games with those statistics.
Well, and your plight is always going to be highlighted when your opposition have 2 from 2.
Yeah, for sure. Better movement of the ball by Korea. They are forced to play it quite far back, but finding the space on the opposite side. It's a big crash ball in. Opportunity here.
Surely. Oh, it's saved.
Almost too much time in the circle there.
Yeah, it's, of course, Callum McKenzie in goal, who came on for Tommy Alexander. Apologies, Callum Douglas. Callum McKenzie, who was injured in the last game. He is on the bench for Scotland, but listed on the bench, but along with Cameron Golden injuries. And, that's also been part of the Scottish challenges. We see this chance again easily saved from Douglas. But it's part of the challenge that they faced in this tournament as well. Injuries at key times, in Scotland themselves win a penalty corner. And Jamie Golden, well, you can only imagine he's going to say, I'm going for 3 from 3.
It'd be silly not to give it to him, eh? New injector, Austin stepping up for injections.
It goes to Jamie Golden, and it's fired home. He gets a hat-trick for himself, as for the first time in this tournament, 2 players get a hat-trick in the same game. And Golden, well, his penalty corners today have been exactly that. Golden, 3 from 3 when you're playing a team that are 1 from 13. That is devastating. Perfect stop, perfect finish. Another Golden goal.
His placement and speed is just absolutely phenomenal and so lovely to watch. Makes it hard for any keeper or defender. Korea now trailing by 6 goals. Only 8 minutes left. Player down.
No. Lim has grabbed his face immediately here.
Umpire calling on the medics, so it must be serious. Hard to see if there's any blood.
Can you check this part of the field for a misconduct, please?
Okay, looking for the serious
Asking to see if there
misconduct.
was any misconduct off the ball.
Yeah, precautionary. Yeah, in real time I didn't see much, but maybe there was something in it. Oh, he's just turned into the stick there of Nen. The question is, did Nen do anything there to cause the contact?
Decision coming. JP?
Yeah.
We don't have enough angle, so it's very difficult to say it's miscontact. So it's
Okay.
not the best possible.
Okay, and can you check the restart of the ball, please?
You give the free hit, the sideline ball to Korea, so stay
Okay.
with the free hit, sideline ball to Korea.
Okay, ball for Korea, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's for Korea then?
Well, no advice possible, no camera angle to show there. That's always an interesting one because it's not a no foul play. We're not sure if there was a foul play.
Yeah, it was difficult to see it from that angle, and I think it's only fair if there's not enough evidence that one doesn't penalize it.
Well, half a quarter remaining in this game. Final 8 minutes. Scotland have been far too good. You'd hate to be a Korean fan right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sorry, everybody. Sometimes these moments of magic come to me. Here are the Koreans looking for what right now feels like it would be a consolation. It's a massive across the field ball, but to absolutely nobody.
Good aerial ball there by Scotland.
Well, they've
Picked up
kept
on
it
the
in.
T-point.
Done well to keep that in, as it looked like it was going out of reach. I think the earlier touch just in front slowed it down just enough to keep it in. Scotland win the ball just outside the circles. Jamie Golden looks to play it quickly, plays it backwards. McConnell feeds it in, looking for a touch, wins it back there through nuggety play from Nen, who plays it quickly.
Ooh,
But
little
that's
bit
a
of a-
poor pass backwards. Korea win the ball here.
Well, one feels like Korea really, shoulders are dropped. Absolutely defeated in this moment.
Now, I'll tell you what, an 8-2 result in a game like this is really painful.
In
But-
any international game, hey, Taran.
Well, but now, it could get worse here. You really want to see them fighting right till the end. And yes, it's a lost cause. Yes, it's frustrating. But yes, it's also pivotal that they continue to fight hard in this game and try and see if they can bring moments of happiness. This could be a goal. No, there's a foot in the middle there. Oh, if that was controlled the first time. There's Stuart Walker, the man with 4 goals on his 50th Test cap. Pretty impressive day for him. Jamie Golden wins it illegally. Scotland don't pass the ball back because, you don't want to play the ball after the whistle. Gamesmanship there.
Yeah, we went into the halftime break with Korea having 60% of the possession. It'll be interesting to see at the end of this game. It's definitely the tides have turned and Scotland will have majority of the possession in this game.
Oh, they've got the majority of the most important stat, which is goals. They've won the penalty corner battle, 3-1 from penalty corners. Ironically, or incredibly, from 3 penalty corners versus 13. And they continue to come forward here. Sean Walker, who celebrates his 50th cap with a 4-goal return.
That could surely be memorable for him. Field looking for a ball, desperately wanting to get it going.
Yeah, you have to feel that Scotland, they were hurting. They were hurting badly after the loss to Wales. But they've come out and restored a lot of pride with their performance today.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, a little too late for the qualification at the World Cup. But they definitely have done their country proud. Golden, great ball in, and this is an opportunity.
Oh, Walker tries to pick up Harwood up front, feeling bad for stealing a goal from him earlier. You never feel bad when you put the ball in the back of the net in international hockey.
Scotland controlling the game here, keeping the possession. In no rush to go forward as such. Opportunity here, well defended, hoping for a penalty corner. They don't have a referral and Korea will now be on the attack. Great speed.
The irony there was that the Koreans' body language made me think it was a penalty corner more than the Scottish body language. That is a free hit for the Scots.
Well, it's a tough job the umpires have. But if you work off the cues that the players give, it's not often you'll get it wrong.
Well, remarkably, this is Struan Walker's 44th game for Scotland. He's got 6 for Great Britain. Today he scored his 48th goal.
Jeez, that's incredible statistics.
And Scotland, a team who were victorious in Nations Cup. These two teams will meet again, possibly, in the Nations Cup this year. And Scotland earned themselves promotion. Yeah, a really good record so far to his name.
As we start to enter the final 2 minutes of this game. It's been a long one for Korea, long and hard one. Scotland will be happy with their result. Korea able to work a consolation goal here. One feels like they need it to be a field goal, not a penalty corner, with the statistics that they have had in this game.
Yeah, and of course, Korea will have one more shot at this tournament, and that will be tomorrow in the 7th place, a playoff. They will play the team that comes out from the game coming up next between Chile, the hosts. Well, disappointing for Chile, who ended bottom of their pool. Chile taking on Canada. Now, of course, Korea have already played Canada in this tournament and they went down 7-2. So will that be an opportunity for revenge? Or will it be a chance to taste even more pain. Tommy Alexander, much happier face today, and great to see. It's been a fantastic servant for the Scottish hockey team, both indoor, outdoor. Fantastic club player as well over all the years. He may not get another shot at the World Cup, considering where he is in his career, but every time he goes on the field, he does his absolute best, putting his body on the line for his country. Well, Korea, they may have the last chance to have a laugh in this game. They turn, but there's no opportunity to convert that. As O gets it taken. Final 15 seconds. Scotland 8-2 victors today. As that ball goes to the side field, lets it go. It goes out the back, and it will be a 16, and that will be all she wrote for this game. Stuart Walker getting half of the goals for Scotland. 4 field goals. Jamie Golden, 3 PC goals. And there's much bigger smilers on the Scottish bench today as they secure a victory here. Winning the game by 8-2. At the end here, we will give you the highlights. We will show you our player of the match. You can work it out. Stuart Walker with his 4 goals in his 50th test match. And of course, we'll look ahead to the remaining games of the day. Commiserations for Korea, but celebrations for Scotland. Victorious in this game by 8-2. Well, that's a good way to shake off the disappointment of the Wales game.
Let's go. 8-2 for Scotland, let's go.
There is your player of the match, Stuart Walker, scoring 4 goals, including 2 proper finishes. Well, here were the goals for Stuart Walker. This incredibly made it 3-0 inside 5 minutes. But the Koreans did come back, and they really did threaten, showing their penalty corner prowess. That was the last time they did show it. Unfortunately, Lim never getting another shot. And this time making it 3-2 after the opening quarter. And all of a sudden, we were game on after game off. Korea then dominated proceedings, but conceded to make it 4-2 to Scotland. Stuart Walker completing a hat-trick inside 20 minutes. Just the second hat-trick in the tournament after Victor Schüler got the opening one. Jamie Golden then produced what can only be described as golden form at the penalty corner spot. Perfection. Not 1, not 2, but later on he would score a 3. McConnell would put his own name up for arguably goal of the game. A brilliant run from midfield, beating 4 different Korean defenders on the way through to the goal and firing it into the bottom right-hand corner. Stuart Walker would get his 4th, sneaking in ahead of Harwood to tap it on to the back net. And 7-2, there was time for one more moment. Jamie Golden completing his hat-trick. 3 out of 3 from the penalty corner for him, and securing a second and third hat-trick of the tournament, both for Scotland today. An 8-2 victory for the Scots over the Koreans, and really, really impressive stuff. The stats, of course, will be interesting. A 50-50% possession. Now, that's interesting because at halftime it was 60-40 in favor of the Koreans. Korea 1 from 13 at penalty corner times. Well, delight for the fair-skinned Scotsman who gets 4 goals on his 50th cap. There's confirmation of the opening result, Scotland-Korea. Coming up after this, Canada versus the host Chile, and then our 2 World Cup qualifying semi-finals, where 2 teams will book their tickets. Thanks for joining us for this game. Make sure you're back for the next one. See you on the turf. Bye-bye.